To be honest, I was expecting to not hear that in here. You think it's safe, but don't risk it. It's 11 p.m. Go home. 띵하! 저는 브라질에서 온 다니엘라입니다. 반갑습니다. I used to like animes and then I got into Japanese live actions and then I was introduced to K-dramas from the same Japanese anime and then a whole new world. But then I fell in love with Korea. I love the castles, I love the culture, 문화. 한국어는 좀 어려운데 impossible 아니에요. 저는 2년 정도예요. 맞아요. I came exactly before they closed borders. And then I came and I was like, I'm stuck here. And then I just stayed. 아니요. I was gonna 계속 stay. So I just stay as tourist visa, renew my tourist visa until I got into a modeling agency. And then I went to another country, changed my visa, came back to Korea and then stayed. Naturally, I started liking Korea a lot and get really attached to Korea and to the language that I didn't want to leave anymore. It was just like very comfortable, like 마음이 들어요. I first came to Korea in 2018 여행으로. 그리고 그때는 to be honest, it was my first country that I've ever traveled ever. And I'm really into like foreign countries and cultures. But I came to the airport and then I saw many people speaking Korean, Japanese, Chinese, English and I was like, wow. A whole new world. First time I left Incheon airport, so many buildings, high buildings, tall buildings and I was like, wow. 역시 아니요 똑같지 않아요. 왜냐하면 한국 드라마 볼 때 그냥 사람들은 로맨스 엄청 많고 when I come to Korea, Koreans are colder a little bit. I cannot say like Koreans are colder, but in general, in my experience, compared to Brazilians, to protect themselves and to work hard, and that's why for facts that Korea is amazing and like very technological and rich country, but there's this wall built that you cannot feel through videos or to dramas. You can only feel that wall when you come to Korea. 대구 갔을 때 그냥 사람들은 엄청 외국인이나 여기 참 먹어요. 너무 착했어요. Seoul people are also kind, but the 아줌마s in Daegu, they were treating me like a queen. It was so cute. 진짜 좋았어요. 첫 번째는 there's so many things to do. Like my Brazilian friends, they call me and they're like, don't you feel lonely in Korea? And of course, very lonely. But 도와주세요. But you always have something to do. For example, if I feel so sad, no friends, 그냥 노래방 갈까? And then I go, no, and then 기분이 좋아져요. 그거 엄청 좋아요. 왜냐하면 브라질에서 그거도 있는데 다 좀 비싼 것 같아요. 두 번째는 even if it is really late, you will still have something to do. Like for example, sometimes I work, I'm like, you gotta work on Friday, have this shooting or something. I was like, okay. And then I come out of a shooting of my work, 9 p.m. I was like, 9 p.m. In Brazil, it's time to go home for me. I'm a small city. And here in Korea, it's just 9 p.m. It's just started. There's so much to do. So it's very different. For me, now 9 p.m. it's early. It's the beginning of whatever you can do. That's the thing I love the most about Korea in general, actually. 한강, yes. I go quite often, like at least twice a month. I think it's amazing. I think it's the best culture ever. I just cannot go back to my culture now. I just like this. Because you get stressed and then you work in Korea. Korea is so tough about work. And then you just like, let me go drink a beer at Hangang. Chilling, that sounds amazing. Koreans are just as much as they're good at working, they're good at chilling. The clothes I wear in Korea, I don't think I would ever wear in Brazil. I wear normal skirts and tops without worrying about it in Korea. And I know I shouldn't worry in Brazil because I'm a free woman, but I end up worrying because I know how my country is. So in Korea, I feel much more safe when it comes to that. It never happened that someone called me in the street like or whistled or anything like that. Any woman in Brazil has heard that at least 1,000 times. Yes, I don't know why they do that, but to be honest, I was expecting to not hear that in here because like I watched many YouTube videos and they were always talking about how Korea is much safer and how you can feel free about your clothes and about how you walk and about like not having men constantly calling you. I think Koreans have a much more subtle way of calling you pretty. They will look at you in a glance and then they will talk to their friends and that's more subtle. Like I understand so much more polite and I will like, oh, You know, I'm being observed in a much more gentle way, which I appreciate. So, no hard feelings. For example, sometimes I get not saying I'm pretty. 그냥 외국인. 나는 그냥 외국인이죠. And then I heard they don't know I can understand Korean. Like I heard them saying, 그 여자 예뻐요. And then I heard and I was like, I can understand Korean. No, I didn't say anything, but like so subtle, gentle. We never go out alone. If we go clubbing, for example, you go with a group of girls. Like my mom used to say, you cannot go out at night. You need to go with at least 2 other friends. And I was like, what's the difference? 3 girls, 1 girl. I usually, most of the days come back home very, very late. I hate staying home alone. It's so boring. So if I'm like 10 p.m. at home, there's nothing to do, I will go ride bicycle for 1 hour. I think they were really, really worried. They were like, you think it's safe, but don't risk it. It's 11 p.m. Go home. I was trying to explain them that, like, I showed them the street. I was video calling with them. I was like, look, there are many girls outside. They're using their phones. Safe enough for me to do that. Now they do. They believe it. They don't freak out as much. I think though, my parents, they have a perfect image of Korea. They love Korea so much. So anything I will say that is positive about Korea, they will be like, yeah, I was expecting that already. Yeah, I know it's Korea. So they have a very, very positive image already. There are many reasons why I want to stay in Korea. First, because it feels like there is more hope when I'm in Korea. Opportunities here, even to be on this YouTube channel, which is a pretty big YouTube channel. Even this is like a hope that things will get better and then I have a chance of becoming an artist. It just feels like there is a chance which I didn't feel in Brazil. And that's the biggest reason why I keep living in Korea, because I want to do something. I want to help people. I want to show them what I'm capable of doing, which I don't get this same opportunity when I'm in my hometown, which is pretty small city in Brazil. 오늘 한국 길거리에서 놀란 이유 말했습니다. 영상이 좋았다면 좋아요, 구독해주세요. 바이바이.